Yes, sir, baby. Welcome back to the frequency at On The Radar in our new pod space. I got my brother in the building, Marlon Craft.
Yes, sir.
Normally I do like long intros, but I feel like this doesn't need to be said. This is like not your millionth time on the show, like fourth time on the show. Third interview though.
Yeah.
Third interview, man.
Because we got one of the first ones, like I remember in the iHeart building, like coming up in the early days.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was watching that back today actually.
I gotta watch that.
And there's like a certain, but I want to talk about the neurotic thing that we were just talking about first before because like I literally just like I was on the video on YouTube Studio, and what I did was I just like clicked a random point. I'm like, let's just see the random thing that we're talking about. First of all, you sound exactly the same. Like your voice has not changed. My voice sounds like, I'm like, oh my God, like I had to go through a puberty again. Like I sound completely different. But the context of that interview was just so funny because we were both young and just talking about like really stupid shit. But before I get to that, the neuroticness of it, before the cameras were rolling, we were talking about Dante said I was neurotic. Why'd you say I was neurotic? Oh yeah, well I have to think about things before I ask questions, or like I pre-plan all these videos to drop. But then we're like, oh, we have to be neurotic because of what we do, and then you were gonna kind of get into that a little bit.
Yeah, I was talking about some other shit, but like I was just talking about these interviews, honestly, where like the way they get clipped out and like just being conscious of what I'm saying, because I'm a pretty free flowing guy, especially with people that I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I'll just like, I grew up like just talking shit on the block and like just communicating really freely, and we don't really live in a time where everything can be clipped and taken out of context. Even just the speed and the pacing of a clip can change the intention of how it felt in the room or what you were saying, where people are not even trying to get you caught up, but like they're just trying to make a better clip. But then you might be like, damn, that's not what I meant to say. So it's made me really neurotic with the interviews and being like, yo, let me look at this and let me like really consider what I say and how I say it, whatever, which is kind of like not who I am really. Like I kind of just let it fly, especially when you're my mans, you know what I mean? So,
but you know what it is too, like, that's just like clipping culture now. It's not even always like with like these interviews. Like on Twitter, it's like a very popular thing to like take clips of like streamers, and the caption or the tweet will be like some other context. So like it could be like a video of Kai just doing something, and they'll be like, Kai Sinat crashes out on his mans for da 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 da. But that's not what even the clip is about. But like since there's like a little piece of the clip that kind of like can lean into like that context being like what's happening, they'll tweet about it to generate clicks. Like there'll be so many times that like Toby on my team will send me like a clip. She'll be like, Gabe, is this really happening? And it'll be like of one of the boys, and I'll be like, bro, no, this is like clearly a fake, one of those fake Twitter pages that, well, not even a fake Twitter page, but a Twitter page that is literally there to generate like false narratives.
But that's the thing. Whole narratives get spun out of these things, and then it's a balance. Like everyone's just trying to get people to engage and grab your attention. Mm-hmm. And I think there are people that are just even trying to do good work that are like, yeah, but I got to grab people so that they can see the music I want to expose people to, or the cool shit that I'm trying to put on for. But I think sometimes if you're not careful, then like the caption or the meme or whatever becomes like like you're getting more eyeballs, but they're interpreting it a different way. So it's I don't know. That shit stresses me out. Like I've been doing interviews now back promoting the album. Yeah. I haven't done them in a long time. And it like, it's been taking something out of me. Like I'll be going home and I'm just like, I don't know. Like it's making me like hyper conscious of like how I come off. And I've never really been that type of cat when it comes to talking. Like, I've definitely obviously been self-conscious about how I come off in many ways throughout my life and in the rap game. But when it comes to like speaking, that's just something I'm very confident at, like communicating my messaging and standing behind what I say. But the clip culture thing got me like fucked up because I'm like, damn, like now they can do it however they want. Yeah. And I can't imagine, to be like famous on some next level shit where anything you do is going to generate a bunch of clicks. So it's almost like you're fucking like that fucking scene from Ocean's 12 where the dude like goes through all the red like lasers and shit.
Yeah,
and he dances.
The Asian guy? The
Italian guy. Or French. He goes through like all the lasers in the museum to get to this shit. He's like, boom, he like weaving all this shit. It's like, that's probably how these celebrities that are like really famous feel like in interview. Like I can't imagine, you know what I mean? It's like everything I say, I can't say this and they're going to clip it like this. But I don't know. It's It is what it is.
But you can still get, I ain't gonna lie, you can still get caught up. Like, I feel like, you know, I think you and I had this conversation a couple weeks ago. Like, we could just be, like, there have been times where we've been, like, talking about stuff on, like, interviews or podcasts or whatever. And, like, they'll just take that one part. And you'll be like, wait, half the context was, like, 10 seconds before this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you want to be like, I think, like, you're the same way now, too. Like, I think you just, like, being conscious of, like, the things you say to making sure that, like, everything's kind of in, like, that one sentence. That way you don't get caught up again.
Yeah, and we just be clipping shit up too. Like, you know, so it's like we'll do the interview and then cool, let's create let's control how the parts that we want to share, which I see the utility of more now. I'm learning how to like share parts of me speaking. I really didn't want to overshadow the music too much. Yeah. I don't want to be a guy that's like known for talking and personality, but also that's a gateway to the music. That was a gateway to a lot of artists' music for me. Yeah. Like, there's certain artists that maybe their first 3 albums I didn't even really connect with that hard, but I just kept tuning in because I connected with their interviews so much, like in like the way they were thinking. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm gonna always give it a shot. And then around album 3, 4, whatever, I'm like, that's the one that I really connect with. So I'm trying to like, you know, be more loose, let people see me and hear me and like see who I am and fuck with me. But I don't know. I always feel different feelings about it. You know?
Yeah, I feel you. Well, like, going back to, like, our first interview, it was so funny because, like, back then, like, your hair is a lot longer now. Yeah. You got the full-grown beard. Back then, you super clean-shaven. I was wearing, like, a construction worker's, like, quarter-zip hoodie. It's clearly before I met Dante because now he styles me. Like, and it's just, like, I was like, damn, we were so young. But it was so funny because when I clicked on this random part of the video, we were like just bullshitting. And we're talking about how much we hate bike lanes in New York. And it's like, and I remember like, I mean, I should have saved the clip, but like, I remember my ex at the time had just got hit by one of the bikers. And like, you were just talking about how much you dislike them and da-da-da-da-da and this and that. And it's so funny that now that I'm thinking about this is because like, one of our closest friends, Kenny, who may or may not be on the way here, he's like that. That's him now.
Bro, I biked here.
You biked here?
Yeah, that's crazy.
No way.
I biked here on a city bike from fucking Manhattan.
No, get that for real?
Yeah, so times have changed. That's crazy. I mean, I always fucked with the bikes and the bike path. Yeah. And my pops always be biking where but that's crazy, yeah.
Because you were like one of these assholes on their $10,000 bike.
So that's what still pisses me off. Because motherfuckers be on the like really expensive bikes, acting like it's like, yo, you live in New York, fam. Like you don't live in like, you know, somewhere where and they go mad fast and they're in the whole spandex fit and they're going like, hey, and then they say some shit, hey, fuck you, or like some shit that's like you would never stop and say to me like. You got to be accountable. If you're gonna give somebody a fuck you, you got to do it. Like you got to stop the bike, and see if I want to fight, right? And then I'll respect it. Then I gotta decide, But okay, I respect it.
Because go ahead.
No, that's it. Really, that I stand by. That makes more sense.
No, because I see like people with like the new thing is like they have the electronic bikes. Yeah. That have like a little not iPad but like a little screen like on the I don't even know what you would call it, but like right there, and I keep seeing them. I think my boy Arshawn, who runs Kids Takeover, I think I saw that they gifted him one, but like I started seeing those more, and I'm always finding it interesting. But also like I don't know, I'm still a driver to this day, so like I'll be in the city and like I just hate when like the bikers are like trying to risk their lives just to get where they go. You know what I'm saying?
I be on the shit and I'm like, I know the drivers hate me.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. As long as you know, because like it's just like I'm like, why are you swerving in front of my car knowing damn well I'm going at a certain speed and now I got to brake? Now you're brake checking me.
Yeah, no, it's a fact. It's a fact.
You bike from the Upper West Side?
Yeah, on the city bike. Because it's like rush hour-ish, and I'm just
I understand. I get it.
You know what I mean? It's nice outside. I'm like, yo, I'd rather just be outside than like in the train from that. Yeah, super-ish. But yeah, I be on the bikes. In the pandemic, I was on the bike heavy, and I just kind of like carried it over. You know,
it's healthy. But man, I'm happy to have you here because like I feel like a lot of people like who are like kind of either new to like the On The Radar world or like new to like you or new to like everything that we've done these last couple months together, would be the Cypher or the experience that should be out by the time this is out. I think by the time the experience comes out, and this comes out on the weekend. So go check that out if you haven't seen it. But people don't know that we really like started together, like 7 years ago now, about 7, 8 years ago now. Marlon was like one of the first people to like ever really believe in OTR, and honestly, like a lot of this shit wouldn't technically exist because Marlon was like the first domino piece that kind of led to a lot of other things happening, including John. Like I met John because John who runs my label, I met him at your show. I think it was for Funhouse. Was it for Funhouse?
Yeah.
It was for Funhouse Mirrors at the time. And like Kenny and like all the things that have happened with Kenny, like you were like the first domino piece for that. And I feel like that goes to say like that's just kind of who you are as a person too. Like you're always like the person who kind of like starts a lot of things. And I think we were talking about it a lot like around the cypher. And I think there was a line in the cypher too about how you're talking about how like there are rappers who like study you and copy your flow and things like that. And I'm like, and I'm thinking back, and as I was preparing for this interview and as I was reflecting on like our history together, I'm like, damn, like people don't really know that Marlon started a lot of things that others won't acknowledge. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to acknowledge that and say thank you.
Thank you, Gabe. This is the greatest day of my life. No, I really appreciate that. No, for real. That actually makes me smile a lot hearing somebody say that to my face and on a podcast. I mean, and in an interview, bro, like, yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I just appreciate it. I mean, like, I'm so honored to be a part of the story of On The Radar and what you've done, bro. And it's just been so amazing to see, like, from when we did that first interview, and I'm honored to be part of the story, having some of those shows, some of those introductions, just bridge some of the gap. And when I think about legacy and impact, that's the stuff that I think about, whether people see it or not, whether people walk around thinking about Marlon Craft as, you know, having influence, like, culturally. I know that I do, and I think people are learning that and seeing that. And but it's so I'm trying to work on letting it be enough for me that I know it, because it's important to me and I see what's going on and know that I played a hand in the way certain things move, and that's really special. But it definitely helps to hear it, man. So I appreciate that shit.
For sure, Maji, for sure. But like, if it's cool with you, like, this is like an interview. This is our first interview in like 3-4 years, right? And like, we're both obviously in very different places in our lives now. But like, I kind of wanted to take it back because, you know, you were signed over at Same Plate for a while at Sony, right? And then you have been doing it independently for about 5-6 years now.
Yeah, I was there for like 1.5 years from like until 2020. So since 2020, I've been back fully independent.
So it was a semi-short stint.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't think we ever fully got to like talk about it, right? What was that transition like for you? Because that's like, you know, I feel like when people sign to a label, they sign the distro deals. Like, that's like a solid, like, 2-3 year minimum commitment. You know what I'm saying? It's not like 1.5 years, right?
Yeah.
So for you, right, because you went from independent, the Same Plate, and RCA and Sony with the machine, to then, you know, going back to doing it on your own and grinding on your own. What was that, like, time period like for you in the decision making to go, like, you know, join the label, but then also, like, you know, be done with it 1.5 years later too, if that makes sense?
For sure, man. I mean, I was at the point, you know, I had done some special things independently and had this real like groundswell momentum, but I just realized, man, like there's resources I don't have. There's art that I want to make. I want to get in the studio with the musicians. I've been recording everything in my bedrooms. Like I want to get in and see this musical vision through. Like I just knew I needed some type of budget and some type of push, and that I had to bust a certain move. So I did the deal with Same Plate, which was like a JV with Sony. And kind of the pitch to me was like, which a lot of people were trying to do at that time, was like indie label deal structure, but major label resources, because we're at Sony, whatever. Yeah. But to be honest, it really was more like indie money, major label headaches. Like that's kind of how it ended up being. Like all the red tape I got to see firsthand when you're in a building like that. Just how much red tape there is, how much bureaucracy, like just trying to get things out and get things done. I also just learned a lot about the game and about money that I thought was like money but wasn't money, and how much money actually goes into stuff. Yeah. And I'm really grateful for that time, because I made so many incredible and important connections and relationships during that time. And it was like a crash course on the music industry. Right. You know what I mean? Like I learned so much in that 1.5 years, and I made some really great art. Like certain like videos and songs and getting in with the musicians in a way that would lead to what I'm doing now. I couldn't have started to do that then without those resources. Yeah. So like, you know, I'm grateful for that time. But I think what happened was I just realized I started seeing how I needed to move. I was like, I need to be consistent. I need to feed this fan base. I need to grow it. I need to like be abundant at that point in my career. And the label just moved too slow for me, man. Like it just was like everything has to be approved and has to be this. And so like basically I just got up out of there. Like I kind of was, you know, yeah, like there's more details to it obviously, but I kind of like forced my way out a little bit. And that's when I went back independent, and shortly after that, after being consistent for like a year or two, is when shit really changed in my life and everything. So yeah, that's kind of the long and short.
Yeah, because I'm even like, I'm thinking about how like, you know, Something Wrong in Heaven, World Champ, Cocky, like your biggest records on Spotify and in your catalog were after you left.
Yeah.
Like when you put out that project and these records started to like have that trajectory, what did you think? What did you notice was like the difference between like that time at the label and them trying to put money behind you to move the music versus then like now it's like, oh shit, like some of my biggest records now and in my career are like independent records that I put out on my own. Like what was kind of like the difference there for you?
It gave me a lot of belief to just trust in the quality of the music. Because first of all, it's like, I think a lot of those JVs at that time ended up like folding because it was an era where people were trying it out, but it's kind of like the thing in music where it's like, yo, you should spend $1,000 or you should spend $100,000. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? Otherwise you shouldn't spend more than $1,000. Like you shouldn't, it's very hard to be frugal. Like I didn't really have the machine. It wasn't like a major label machine. It was that building and I had to go through the same bureaucracy, but I didn't have those budgets and that push. Yeah. And I just realized that all my biggest moments that were happening anyway were like pretty organic, you know, for the most part. And it was just really about real human beings that connected with the music. So, you know, I realized that the momentum was the most important thing. That's what they were kind of slowing up. So just being consistent when I got back, you know, independent and really having a plan and just going for it, man, that was it. And I take a lot of pride in that. I mean, that's a lot of things we talk about people. I mean, while we're here, you know, my last album before The Internet Killed the Neighborhood, which is out now, did over 100 million streams, man, independently. Yeah. I put that out through DistroKid. People are just not out here doing that willy-nilly. And I'm not the type to like get out and like wave the flag, you know what I mean, and be like I don't like the entrepreneurialism to overshadow the art. But yeah, like it was a special time, and I was able to accomplish some special things, you know.
How did you push that? Like, what do you feel like for those records? What was kind of like, obviously the quality of it is incredible. What do you feel like was really able to move the needle on the records on that project that was different from before? Like, do you think it was just organic or?
Yeah, it was organic. It was also like a big part of it was discovery mode on Spotify, to be honest. That shit got cracking up. And what was cool about that was that the obstacle and the hurdle that sometimes I always had to overcome in those early years especially was like how I look. And it was like something people had to like get past first to get to the music sometimes. And with the discovery mode thing, where people were being like fed my songs on Spotify, it was coming on in their playlist and they're just hearing the music and they're not like seeing my face or it was just about the music. Like this, like the test of like, what is that shit? Yeah. That shit fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, save. You know what I mean? And that was cool because that was a big part. It was like, for me, it was like affirming like, oh, if it's about the music, I have music that resonates with people and that connects. But I also think like I've always just had a really strong core fan base that really supports what I do, that gets behind what I do, that like starts things off with a bang and really spreads that word of mouth, bro. I think with all the digital shit we got going on, word of mouth is still the strongest, you know, way to spread things. Obviously, a lot of that word of mouth does become like digital and shit. Of course. But when something gets moving, like, you know, I'm sure you've seen this with OTR. It's like when something gets moving, the people are going to decide what moves it. Like you can even at the highest level with all this bot shit and all that other shit, you could get some shit going for like a little bit, but like you're not going to get it. Like eventually it's going to stall out if people aren't really loving it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And I think like, yo, who's making a ruckus?
It's a whole ruckus, bro. Y'all good?
That was okay. It was the drum.
Oh yeah, this motherfucker was wasted, bro.
There's somebody from what, the band? Oh, he's with the DJ. What the? Why
bro, he came in stumbling. First of all, he walked up the stairs. He looked like JJ Redick, like super, like I was like, yo.
I don't know if he's gonna see that. I don't care if he sees this, honestly.
And honestly, he looked like JJ Redick, and I almost just made the joke right off the bat.
I'm glad you didn't.
But the way he was stumbling, he had one of those faces like, I'm drunk and I've been in a lot of bar fights in my life. So I was like, let me chill out. But yeah, he was stumbling and bumbling, man.
Oh my God! Let me tell the boys to make sure nobody come in this room again. Yo. Oh, you hit the chat already? Yeah. Hold on, yeah. Keep that drunk guy out. Anyway, my bad.
Nah, you good.
That was so funny. We were talking about the project, right? We're talking about while we're here. Damn, I was gonna go somewhere with that. He just fucked up my train of thought. That's fucked, man. Nah, but I do love how that was kind of like a great moment for you too, because then it kind of gave you like the confidence to kind of keep on this independent track, which I know could be like when you and I hung out back in January, we were talking about like how hard it could be sometimes. But I felt like even after that came out, I think I went to your show down at Bowery Electric too. It was Bowery Electric?
Oh, Bowery Ballroom.
Bowery Ballroom. And that show was just so incredible too, because I think it was around the time that Mom's Whiskey also came out.
Yeah.
So it's like all this like excitement. You had all like the label people there still who still rocked with you. Like that was like one of the shows that I've been to of yours that was like felt really special.
Yeah.
And it was cool because I was like, wow, man, it's so cool seeing like an independent artist from New York be able to do venues like this and sell it out and like have that cult fan base that like always rocks with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. And that's what like all that stuff laid the groundwork, obviously, for now. The new album, The Internet Killed the Neighborhood, and the Residency like that we've been doing, like all those shows. And that's part of the thing about the journey is it's taken me a long time to get to where I'm at, and I'm still just moving along. But when you take the slower route, you really get to learn through these experiences of like doing different types of shows, doing a show with the full band and doing it with like a DJ, and then trying to do it with like in between band and being like, nah, maybe that ain't it, like whatever. So like, figuring out like what the show looks like to the point now where, we got the full live band. We did 10 shows in the last 14 months. Like I know exactly what I'm trying to do now. You know what I mean? So
let's talk about the residency. So like when you announced it last year, I was like, oh wow, like this is very interesting. Like what he's doing. New Blue is obviously such a dope venue in the city that I feel like has only gotten more popular as the residencies have gone on. Because I've been there for like other parties with Kenny, of course. But when you had come up with this concept, I remember like I think I went to like one of the first ones last February. Yeah. Because you did them all in like a month, right?
Yeah, you came to like the second one ever. Yeah.
Yeah, and first of all, it was freezing outside, but then you get inside and immediately like sweating bullets, right? It is so hot in there. And I was looking around, I'm like, damn, this is like, New Blue's a decent sized venue, of course, but it was so tight in there that like me and Kenny were like fighting for space. And I was like, wow, like it, again, kind of like the Bowery show. I'm like, wow, this is so dope that like even all these years later, Marlon is doing something like this and continuing to evolve, right? And for the residency, obviously, we'll get into how, it applies to like the project too, but what was kind of like the beginning thought processes of like you figuring out you want to do this residency, and then of course bringing the band together because they're all so fucking incredible. Like they're insane, man.
So I always, my earliest shows in New York, I always just wanted to do shit with a band. My pops is a drummer. Yep. Like I grew up around a lot of musicians, and seeing my favorite rappers when I was younger, like I saw Chance the Rapper with a band like in college. I saw J. Cole with a band at one point. I was just like, man, this shit electrifies me. You know what I mean? And so I always tried to do it. In my early days, I would just bring the drummer on the road, just trying to add that live element. And then, we were starting to do these shows where it would be like in the big cities, we would do, the band. We did a show in London like that, other stuff. But we always had to put a band together for like a particular show. And there's a lot of learning involved. And I was like, man, if this is like where I'm having the most fun, where I'm feeling like this is the most special, most explosive thing, where it's like you could come in the room and be like, damn, this is something, we feel it, it's alive. Why are we only doing this like once a year or once every 18 months? Like why are we doing that? Like let's try to create a community and a scene, you know what I'm saying, in the city where I'm from, contribute something back to like the space and create like this unit in this space in the city where I can actually work and get better with like a band. Like, like I can like be doing shows more often so that I can actually get reps in and get better and try different things. So we started with 3 shows and we were just like, let's see how it goes. Will people come out? Will different musicians come hop up? Will we have some unscripted moments, whatever? And then here we are like 10 shows later, man. And it's like they be selling out, and it's like a whole community. We've had everyone from Method Man to like young MCs like Ruben and
Soul Child.
Yeah, Soul Child.
Did Tom do one?
Yeah, Tom, Sco, everybody, man. Julius Rodriguez been there.
Cisco
Swang.
Cisco, like,
we Raina Simone, Nick Grant, Osmond Benjamin. I mean, like, the amount of talent that's been on that stage is just crazy. And it's just like so special. And like the most important thing about it is like, yo, it's fun, bro. It's mad fun.
Yeah,
like,
it's mad fun in there.
It's mad fun. Like when you could, like, people be coming, it's inviting to people that aren't, everyone's not a hip hop head, or every show there's people that actually never heard of me, but they got brought by somebody because they're like, yo, you gotta come peep this, and then they leave a fan. So it's been really special, man. We definitely gonna keep it going.
There was one show I went to. I'm like, yo, he's drunk. I don't know. Have I been to two or just one? Maybe it's just the one that I went to last year, because I know I've been moving around a lot this year. But the one I went to last year, I'm like, you were lit, my boy.
I be having fun up there. You
were lit.
But you know,
I looked at Kenny. Kenny looked at me. Kenny started laughing at one point. I'm like, he sloshed.
But the fun part about it is like, because now the band unit gets so tight, we know all these songs like the back of our hand. We do different jams. Now you could get a little saucy. You can see where it goes. You could really get in your bag and get comfortable. Whereas, like, when you do that one show and you have, like, 2 rehearsals, everybody's got to learn everything, and then it's like you're up there and you're just kind of, like, trying to get through it, like, make sure it's good, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, I'd be comfortable. I'd be comfortable.
Now, you be having fun. And, like, have they all been sold out? Or?
Nah, not all of them.
Not all of them? But they're always packed.
Yeah, I think like 6 out of 10 are sold out, but they're always a full room. And that's what's cool, too. Like, even the smaller ones, sometimes it takes on, it's like a different energy. Sometimes it's even a little welcome because it's not so packed. It's like, people catch a different vibe. So, it's cool, man.
Do you feel like you still surprise yourself in these these residencies?
Yeah. Well, I'm just gotten so much nicer, like, by doing them. Because just by working with the band, my musical knowledge, they put me on to so much shit, so much music, my musical sensibility, my understanding of, like, pocket, because playing with a live drummer and, like, really, like, locking in a way that still is alive and shit, like, I feel it when I go into the booth now. Like, I went into the booth recently and I was just like, oh, man, like, I'm better at this. Yeah. So it's fire. Like, that's part of the thing, is working out. We make mistakes. We try shit out in there. And it's like, that's important because that's the only way that you could really grow and get better, you know?
Yeah. And I go out, like, literally my favorite moment was obviously the Method Man one, and obviously you and Method been friends for a while. Y'all got records, but, like, I felt like that was such a cool one because obviously, that's like, when that hits, like, online and when people see that like, kind of, it stamps you in a certain way, Like, it kind of hits, like, the other ones are amazing because obviously you're showing love to, like, the younger MCs and, like, the newer people who are out here doing it too. But then, you, like, Meth coming out at something like that, like, like, those guys, they don't really pop out at things unless they really want to be there. Yeah. And that's why I feel like it was special.
It was so special, bro. That night really meant a lot to me. He came through, and, like, it was the first show, too, so he set the tone for some shit.
Oh, that was the first one, too?
Yeah,
wow,
some shit that I was like, so it really helped kick it off. And, he came fresh off the plane from somewhere, man. He was, like, in a different country earlier that day, but he, like, really wanted to hold me down and, like, pop out. And so it just meant a lot. And I didn't know he was going to, like, get up and, like, co-sign me so hard and, like, stamp me, but it's just, like, and he's one of the rare people that, all my interactions with him have been selfless on his part. Like, he really fucks with me, thinks I deserve, like respect and help. And so he's just giving it to me, like, out of the fact that he cares about the game, the culture, what I'm doing and supporting it. And it's like no weird ego attachment or nothing to it, or like, whatever. And that shit is really rare. So it inspires me to be that way with people coming behind me, you know what I mean?
And y'all have known each other for a while. What was, like, the first, like, moment that you guys had met or that you guys had connected?
We met through my barber, Chaz.
Chaz I actually met at the Bowery show. That's how I first met Chaz.
That's
too
my
funny
guy,
enough.
Man. Shout out to Chaz. Chaz was cutting him on Power. And
okay.
And he was playing some of my songs, and I think Meth was already, like, familiar. He was like, oh yeah, I know Marlon Craft, like, he's nice. I'd love to work with him, like, da da da. And I was in a meeting, actually, and Chaz just started texting me, like, yo, would you ever do a song with Method Man? And I was like, yes. Like, and he was, like, sending me quotes. He's like, yo, Meth said you make him proud to be from New York, and, like, some shit. And then, like, I was in the meeting. I was like, yo, I got to step outside for a second. Like I was like, yo, and Chaz called me and he was like, yo, I'm gonna connect you guys, and we got connected. So, yeah, man, it's just special, man.
Shout out Chaz, man.
Chaz the connector, man.
I ain't seen Chaz in a long time.
He's out here doing incredible things. He's just cutting all the biggest stars, doing all the biggest things, man. That's my guy.
Some light work, you know what I'm saying?
Him, bro. He's really
light work.
He's that guy.
So kind of going back to like the residency, how did because when we had spoke last year, you and I had already kind of been conceptualizing the idea of like doing this the experience with the band at OTR and whatnot. And you're like, yo, I'm working on this album. It's almost done. It took a year after that for it to actually get done, but like, you know, that's how this goes. How much like did the residency shape the album? Because obviously most of the album is live instrumentation, but like what came first, and then like how did it like change throughout the course of like you learning with the band? As you said, like you guys got better as you went along. So how did it change through the residency as well? Yeah,
I mean the album, like the songs, the last year of the album was just finishing the songs that were already in existence. So it didn't really, like I already knew that was the music that was coming, but that was all the more reason to want to get the band thing tight, because I'm like, man, this is the direction that I'm going. And I also want to introduce people to that, like, because, you know, like, you know, in this game, there's the people that really know you, and then sometimes there's like the top line perception. And I feel like top line perception about me a lot of times is like New York spitter, dude be spitting, he got some viral freestyles, like I said, you know, like he could really rap, which is cool, and that's me. But like, you know, the musicality like that's there, and that, especially in the new album, you know, I really want people to see me in that way as like a songwriter and hopefully as a, you know, being worthy of the title of musician one day. So that was kind of the thinking too, was like, and that was why I was so excited when people were so receptive to it, because I'm like, oh, they're gonna love the album. Yeah. Because we just doing the old songs, you know what I'm saying? And but it's like, this is actually how the new album feels. Yeah. So I just started getting hype.
Yeah, I really love, like I told you, I mean, you know how much I love the album. Like what I was very appreciative of you was that in January I had came over and it was you, me, and Kenny, and you played me the album for the first time, and we drank Mom's whiskey. Yeah, right, yes, which is my first time drinking Mom's whiskey. Which I do. Dante, come on, man. But I do have a question about Mom's whiskey, but I want to talk about the project first. But it was so cool because like Shoulders had come out at that time, right? And I told you how much I like Shoulders, because I felt like, you know, even the lines about, you know, it's hard just getting older, and like I felt like 2026 is the year that I haven't turned 30 yet, but the year that I'm turning 30, like that song coming out the top of the year really resonated with me, because, you know, like it's about like the weight on your shoulders, getting older, your family, all that. And like I was like, damn, man, like this is actually how I'm feeling right now, that's the one thing I always appreciate about your music, is that it's very real, very relatable, and I think that's why your fans love it. And so when we were listening to this project, I was like, you told me it was gonna have this full band, right? But like I didn't expect to be, I knew I was gonna be impressed, but I didn't expect to be like that. The level of impressed that I was at the end of it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that was like one thing I really, and also I think the whiskey definitely helped too. I'm not gonna lie.
The Mom's whiskey's strong.
The Mom's whiskey you're like, yo, bro, you told wifey, you was like, yeah, we just go have a little drink, and then by the end of the night, you're like, oh shit, bottle's gone.
Yeah, the next day hurt. I remember that.
Yeah, you said the day, and then all the snow was on the ground. Me and Kenny are like trying to get to the car in the blizzard. But regardless, like it was such a cool experience, because like I felt like that was such a great way to listen to the album, especially just because of the friendship between you, me, and Kenny, and I just remember like the album just flowed so effortlessly into each other, because I kept like watching it, because you were playing it on FL? What were you playing it on?
Logic.
On Logic. Yeah. Because it was already all sequenced on Logic. Yeah. So I kept having to like look up sometimes to see like
if it was a new song.
If it was a new song, like where we were in the album, like how many songs were left. Like I kept looking up to try to like gauge time and like figure out where we were in the project. And I thought that was pretty cool that I kept doing that, because I'm like, damn, like that shows like some of these songs, how well the songs kind of go into each other too, you know?
I love that. That was the experience. That's what I really wanted more than anything. I wanted it to be one of those albums that the whole album is almost like one great ass song. Like you can just play it from front to back and let it play, and you actually just want to let it run, because you want to like go through it in that way. And so a lot of attention was given to the sequencing and to making it feel complete. And I also really appreciate that you came through like to the crib, because I was trying to get people to like, yo, pull up on me like and hear this shit, because I knew listening it to that way would be special. But like you said, we're like, damn, I didn't expect it to be this good and to be this elevated. And that was part of it too, because I've been around for so long and I've done a lot of projects. So there was this like process of me trying to hit people, like to go to people, you know, and be like, yo, like, this is like the album. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this like the album. And it was like, yeah, cool, we're going to check it out. And I'm like, no. Like, you got to understand, like, this is the album. Like, this is the one I've been working on this for 5-6 years. If you're going to support me, like, now is the time. Like, we really I really need people to hear this. The internet killed the neighborhood. So, yeah. And I mean, like, obviously you always support, so it wasn't like it was difficult, but that it's funny that you say that because I feel like that I knew that's how it was with everybody. Everyone was kind of like, yeah, cool. No, the album's going to be dope. But I was trying to be like, no. Like, you got to hear this shit. You know what I mean? So, and it seems like that's been the reception from people so far, which is really cool to see. Even from my fans that have been rocking with me for years are like, whoa, this is on a different level, you know? Yeah.
And like I said, like, even from the name, because you're like, I'm gonna tell you the name, but like you can't tell nobody. And I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna tell nobody.
Yeah.
But like, kind of get into like even the theme of the name. Like, how does I wanted to kind of hear your thoughts on like how the name and the cover art like kind of intertwine and like what was like the intentionality there, because the cover art is dope. I really like the cover art, and I just kind of wanted to understand a little bit more like about your thought process and like kind of like where you were coming from when it came to putting that together too from like an artistic perspective.
Yeah, man. So I mean, the internet killed the neighborhood. I mean, I think it means a lot, and I think it's really smart to, when analyzing it, tie it into the cover, because I think the cover globalizes it in a certain way and like universalizes it in a certain way, whereas like obviously the internet killed the neighborhood. There's a lot in there about me being a New York kid, coming of age, figuring out myself as a man. At the same time, I'm looking out the window in the place that I've known, these tenets of community, mentorship, sort of like a village mentality on support that we see in the neighborhood have been kind of replaced by these like little algorithmic pockets that we all are living in all the time, that are really just, you know, catered to make us consume more. And so, you know, then there's obviously like the gentrification piece of just, you know, people being priced out in New York, priced out of all major cities, a lot of the culture being sort of like evaporated for the sake of capitalism, all that stuff. But I also think, you know, there's something in there about just what we see going on with the youth, what we see going on across the world, like the violence being perpetrated against young people on all these different fronts. And when I got linked up with Tay Gates, who is down in D.C., who's the artist that did the cover, which was such a huge blessing. Shout out to my man Curtis, who's got a gallery up in Harlem, who put together some different artists for me to look at. That he was like, I could connect you. And I just was floored by some of Tay's work. It just kind of spoke to me. So I went down to D.C. and I played Tay the album. I told him all about it. And we just like clicked. I have had very few artistic connections with people where we've just kind of understood each other, been speaking the same language as much as him. So yeah, we worked on it together. Like we had so many conversations on the phone just about like, he's like, I'm listening to this song and like, this is what I hear and this is what it means to me. And sometimes he's using like a little more like visual language and I'm using a little more like lyrical language, but then we're both doing both of those. And so it was just a lot of conversations. And yeah, he gave me a draft. I got to be hands-on with it, like, and be like, I think we need to push it a little further. So in the end, like, that's his son actually in the cover. Yeah, okay. That's his son. And that, because we had hit this point where I was trying to get him to push it a little further. We realized we need to push it a little further. He was like, yeah, I was thinking about putting my son in it, but I was like, do that shit. Cause I think I don't speak for him, but I think he needed to like personalize it for him. You know what I'm saying? To reach that next level. And damn, did he reach it, bro? That shit is like, just striking and special, man. Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of the long and short of it. But special, and I'm very honored that of the work and the dedication that Tay gave to that cover.
Facts. Nah, I like even with the bombs, and it also has like a nostalgic feeling in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like it just kind of feels like a like it kind of reminds me somewhere of like a rock album cover or like an early 90s like hip hop album cover. Like a lot of intentionality behind it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't know why, like it kind of reminds, like, you know how like Led Zeppelin had like the one with the Zeppelin balloon on it.
Oh, I gotta go back.
I'm sorry, I don't know what album that is. Oh, like, you know, Beastie Boys had like the one with the plane on it too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like that's what they, like when I first looked at it, it reminded me of that, because it has the bombs, it has the plane in the back. Like that's kind of what it reminded me of. But like now understanding like the deeper meaning and kind of like how you took it, and you were like, oh well, it's also like talking about like how the youth is being targeted like around the world, and then, you know, everything going on right now overseas and the bombs on in the picture, like it kind of brings it all together a little bit more.
Yeah, bro. It's like I don't want to, you know, I don't like to give too much away because I want people to listen to the album and, you know, conclude for themselves and stuff. But I just think that the theme of the neighborhood as a concept is ultimately about humanity. And like what we see is just a real dearth of humanity, like across the world. Like it's just a lot of violence, a lot of in the pursuit usually of just power and profit.
Yeah.
And, you know, the internet, in the way that it's being co-opted and utilized right now is just, and tech a lot in general, is about power and profit.
For sure.
And so I think, you know, sometimes you go super small to get very wide. So I went very deep into like my experience, because sometimes the most universal truths are like deepest inside of ourselves, you know, because we're all connected. We're all ultimately living the same human experience. So by going really deeper into myself, my experience, and pulling out from it the universality, like I hope that I hit on some themes that kind of represent this time in the world and not just my block. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, I think that's real. And then also, you like, not a feature, like, because it's all you, but damn, it's pouring outside, huh? Yeah. Are we back to like our little summer storms, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
I like it.
I feel cozy all of a sudden.
Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I go out, the one thing, a little tangent, my favorite part about New York in the summertime is like when it rains. Yeah. Right? Because like, as soon as it's done raining in New York in the summer, just like the day's just 10 times better. Yes. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, maybe it's a psych thing.
The tension, because it's literally like the density of the air, like it's filling up with all this precipitation, and then it's like a release. Yeah. It's a release, and you could feel that. Like you walk out, and it's like,
and outside just feels so much better. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Makes you want to go outside, makes you want to go do things. I can't explain it. I just remember like, especially like in my early 20s, like it would rain, and then it would stop raining, and I would go outside. I'd be like, yo, I'm going to Brooklyn tonight. Yeah. I'm just going outside.
I fuck with heavy. I fuck with like when you're eating somewhere, or you're outside somewhere chilling, but you're under like some shit. Yeah. And then it starts raining, so you get to be outside in the rain, but you're not
getting wet,
and you're just experiencing like the sounds. And like I feel like as long as there's no crazy wind, like in the summer, that shit is mad peaceful.
Yeah, I fuck with that too. Yeah. See, look, you hear it? We got on a tangent. Anyway, going back, but not a feature on the album, but Havoc is on the project. Yeah. Not your first time working with Havoc, but like, it was funny because I was watching the Rob Markman interview or some pieces of it, and I didn't really realize that. So the connection when you and Havoc came about because you freestyle on a Mobb Deep beat. Is that...
Well, there's a lot of me and Havoc specifically was just honestly just Instagram. Like he started following me and he was like liking my shit and replying to some stuff. And I was like, it would be an honor to work, like, you know. And he was just like, I'm gonna send you a beat, and that's how Hans Zimmer like came about, right? But the first joint me and him did together, but there's just such a history there because my career kind of got launched rapping on the Survival of the Fittest beat, went super viral. I had opened for them one time in DC, like really early in my career.
When Prodigy was still around.
When Prodigy was still around. Okay. So like it was just super full circle and shit, but yeah, I've only actually met Havoc in person one time because it was like during the pandemic that we were working, that we like connected.
So how old is this song with him?
This song actually, he sent me that beat when because I hit him about me and Meth wanted to do something. So then he sent me that beat thinking like for Meth, and then ultimately he was like, I think you should keep it. So that was like 3 years ago maybe. Oh, like wow. I think at least 2.5. Oh wow. Yeah. Wow. So that song's been in the work for a long time.
So Analog's been done. Has it been done for 3 years?
Nah, because I just kept building on it. Like all the instrumentation, I kept adding the different instrumentalists on it and like building out the stuff. But like the basic format of the song has been, like I wrote that verse like a couple of years ago. What's crazy, like some of the lines in there, like even the line about like Elon Musk and shit like that, it was like I was watching the world, I was just like, damn, this shit's becoming more relevant. Like I wrote it like I think Biden was in office when I wrote that shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's
but
crazy.
then all this shit started jumping off, you know what I mean? And then I was like, wow. So
crazy. What's your top 5 on that one? I'm playing. Nah, but in all fairness, like, what is like? Is there a record on this album that you're like the most proudest of?
Honestly, and I know this is like a bullshit answer.
Yeah.
It's just the album as a whole, because that was such my agenda. Because I've had big records, like we talked about World Champ and Song Wrong in Heaven, where it's like, these really standout records that. But I feel like I hadn't gone deep enough yet on that piece, that body of work that was like, wow, this just rises above from like start to finish. And so that's what I'm like super proud about. My favorite songs change all the time because I've just lived with them all through so much shit. But Analog Man definitely is one of those ones where I've just had moments where I sit and listen to it and be like, damn, man, we did that shit.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
You know what I mean? And but right now, I'm really proud about Together Sad.
Nice.
Like there's just
I feel that one. I feel that one. Yep.
Yeah. All of them, man. I really do. I really do love all of them, which feels really good because usually, like with the albums, there's a point where, like, I do love it, but there's like little things I want to change or like little things, this, that, and it's like this one. I'm like, nah, man. I stand by. I took long enough to know that like I really stand by the sequencing, everything on there. I think it's gonna last.
Well, the goal is like, like I said, like I had to keep looking to see like where we were in the project. You feel me?
Exactly.
So like that's not a bad answer.
Yeah,
it's a good answer, honestly, truly.
Cool.
I had a whole other thought that I was gonna go with, but I forgot. But I do like how like I like how it ties so much into the Residency now, and we are getting the vinyls finally.
Yes. I mean, when this comes out, they'll hopefully be sold out, and we on to another batch.
Right.
Hopefully. But yeah, definitely we about to drop the vinyl, man, and they look fire. Yeah.
I'm excited. Where do you go from here? Like, are you just gonna let this breathe? Because I know you and I were talking about like content and everything. Like, how much do you want to let this breathe before you kind of go back into something else?
Man, I'm sitting in this one for at least the rest of the year. I just want really to keep spreading. I feel like we just getting going. Like, we ain't even dropped the OTR experience yet. You know what I'm saying? So we got to hit them in the head top with that. I'm about to go to LA and do some freestyle, some different things. Like, nice. We got different shit dropping. So my plan is just to extend this rollout and really, like, let the people that were on the music early grow with it and hopefully love it more and more. Let them keep putting on other people. We're going to keep the Residency going in the summer. We're going to do some spot dates with the band, you know what I mean, and get out and start bringing the full band to some different cities and stuff like that. But I'm definitely like, I'm anxious to get back working because I'm very inspired, you know what I mean? So I want to start working on whatever's next. But this is the first time in my career that I haven't had. I used to always tell, especially independent artists, like, you should know what the next thing is when you put out whatever the current thing is, to stay at that pace that you need to stay at. But with this, it was just like, I reached a point where it needed to just be about the quality, giving my all to something. And so, yeah, I have some shit. I always got some shit that I'm working on, but
of course,
I don't know what the next thing is, which feels really good to say as an artist, as like my manager. It's like it's like scary. So
you had also, we talked about your trip to Mexico City, right?
Yeah. Some
of this project was made in Mexico City, or was it just the performances? I'm trying to recall.
The strings. We went down there to do the strings.
Okay, yeah.
My man Sly Fifth Ave was living down there. He did all the horns on the project. Incredible horn
Amazing
player. Bro, he's like the man. And he had heard the string stuff we had laid. He came up to the city to do horn stuff. He heard the string stuff. It was just like violins that we stacked, and he was like, man, if you come down to Mexico, I could put a quartet together. We could probably afford it if we do it down there. So we went down there, and it was such a special week. Like, nice. we did all the strings, and we did like some sessions, some more horn sessions with him and stuff. So
and a bunch of the performances are that you've been putting out for the project are from Mexico.
We did Analog Man, and then we got another one. We actually have one. I don't know if it'll be out. But we got one of World Champ that's like super fire with the strings.
Yeah, I just remember me and Kenny were like, "Yo, who's the girl on the?" I don't remember what she was playing.
Yeah, both of the women in the quartet were very, very beautiful. as much as they were skilled.
Yeah.
But they were just awesome people. Like, they were so cool to work with. Funny story about that is, like, they came to the Airbnb to do a rehearsal, and they're all speaking in Spanish, and Sly's Spanish is good enough that he was, like, you know, leading them all in Spanish. And so I'm just kind of standing in the cut and whatever, and for like an hour of rehearsal, I'm just like sitting there. I'm kind of like only talking to Sly to like tell him what to tell them if I have notes or whatever. And then at some point, like, whatever I'm talking, and one of the dudes was like, you know, like, we could speak English, like, we could understand, you know. And I was like, oh man, y'all must think I'm so Hollywood, like, that I'm only like speaking, like, they didn't speak, it wasn't like fluent, you know what I mean? But it was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, they could speak enough English that I could, and I felt so bad because I was like, damn, I'm acting like the artist, like, I'm just over here, like you tell them what I have to say, whatever. So, but they were incredible people. It was such a great vibe that we caught, and I just had so much fun that week, man.
That's fire, man. I like how that was like a cool story behind the project too, because like it's something different that people who listen to the project the first time probably wouldn't even like really think about.
I hope people understand that if they do like the album and they feel like it's of a superior, like just an elevated quality, you know, that's for a reason. It's like we really got on a plane and went to Mexico, like, and for a week just to replay string parts that were already written with a proper quartet. But like, such special things happen when you give yourself to the work in that way and you commit, you know, and you don't just go like the shortest way. It's like those little like differences of like, man, nah, the strings are proper, you know, like those are the little things. It still sounded good how we had it before, but the difference between good and great, I find, is sometimes like small. It's really small, but it's a lot of work. You know?
Yeah. Speaking of a lot of work, let me tell you how much work it took me to get Marlon to do the new class cypher, man.
Nah, it took like one phone call.
I'm playing. Nah, but it's funny because like whenever I ask Marlon to do something, right, it's like 80% of the time it's like, nah, it's not the right time, which I respect. I'm not the type of guy where I catch feelings about it, but like I forgot what
have I ever said no to? I don't think I ever said.
I think I asked you to do the Christmas cypher one year.
Oh yeah, the Christmas cypher. Yeah.
There's something else, but this cypher, I forgot how the idea came about. I think me and Kenny were just like on the phone talking about dumb shit as we do, and I'm like, yo, I really need somebody from like New York on this like new class cypher, and I was like, there's people who I thought of. I'm like, nah, maybe the next one for them. I'm like, I need someone who embodies New York, because it's like, you know, I had like Chris, who's like Jersey. I had like, and then all the ATL kids, and then Nassan, who's like very Detroit, you know, and Larizi, who's so Louisiana. I'm like, I can't do this without having like someone who's like so New York and like who embodies New York, kind of like what Meth said, right? And then I'm like, yo, Kenny, you think Marlon will do it? And he's like, yo, pitch it to him. I'm like, he's gonna say no. I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time convincing Marlon to do it. And then my phone call with you was like 25 minutes long of me pitching Marlon the cypher, if I recall that correctly. Yeah. And Marlon's like, I'm like 90% in. I'm like, bro, think about it. Album's coming out. This is gonna come out at the end of February. You know, it's like it could work.
That's why you the man with the vision. Can you imagine how fucking dumb I would have been to not do that shit? But you know, I just needed to hear what it was. Like within the first 5-10 minutes of you explaining it to me, I was like, oh, like I'm in. And like I said, I was like, yo, I'm 90%, because I just wanted to be intentional and think about it. I was like, damn, he's really like making so much sense, and of course I have to be a part of this, but let me like reflect on it and make sure, because I never want pump fake you at all. For sure. But like I was like, oh, okay, I got to be a part of this. I was honored that you thought about me, and the way you like broke it down was just perfect. And also, man, what a blessing, bro. Like, that shit just landed smack in the middle of my rollout for my album. Yeah. And so much exposure and so much love. And, like, that's why you the man with the vision, bro.
Thank you, bro. I tried. Thank you.
No, real talk. That was an excellently curated situation, bro.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Thank you. It was funny, after the cypher, because it was just me and Ray Vaughn, for some reason, just hung out the whole time while we was packing up. And Ray and I were talking about you. And he's like, yo, I like that Marlon. He's like, because I guess y'all spoke at the cypher. He's like, nah, I'm gonna really tune into his music, because like he could really rap for real, da. And he's like, I think he said something along the lines of like, yo, I hope he didn't take the white boy at the barbecue line as like a jab to him, because he's clearly not who I'm talking about with that line. And I'm like, Nah, I'm like, I don't think Marlon took. I'm like, and if I recall the conversation correctly, and Ray, if he sees this, he could correct me by any means. But like, I was like, nah, I don't think Marlon's not that type of guy. Like, if like your bars, like he knows who he is, and his love for hip hop and rap culture, and like he knows his place in the game, and like that little part of Ray's verse was not for you. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, 100%. Like that's. Motherfucker wasn't talking about me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I felt. I was like, and to be honest, if people know my track record of the things I've spoken on, I've pretty much said in rhymes almost everything he said. like at one point or another, I've echoed those sentiments, I should say. Like, you know what I'm saying? Of calling out like my own privilege and the privilege of other people, you know, trying to take advantage of the game of white people in hip hop and shit. So I was like, oh, good. I'm glad someone's getting into this bag. Like, I never thought he was talking about me because it don't apply. Like, if it don't apply, let it fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you only take that shit personal if you thought that it was. I really didn't feel that way at all. Like, so, definitely. But I'm glad you said it really well. I couldn't put it any better than that. I appreciate the way you put it. Yeah,
no, because like even like when I wrote down his ad name because I couldn't. I don't know if I say this right, but like FD Signifier. Yeah, he's the one who did like the It also just so happens that in the middle of your rollout, the Jack Harlow stuff comes out, and people react to that how they react to it, right? And then he does this whole like what would you call it? Like a video essay, I guess.
Yeah.
About like you and then like your authenticity to hip hop and like who you are, and then his opinion on Jack and what he feels like that is. And it was just I was just like, wow, like you couldn't tell this. But also I like what I'm saying, like no, for me it's like no slight against Jack, but like what I really liked is that like people noticing what you've done and like being like, hey man, like again, no, I got no issues with Jack, but like seeing how people like talk about you in the way that they've been supposed to talk about you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
1,000,000%. And that's why that shit really meant a lot to me, honestly. And I really appreciate it because, to be honest, that's not really stuff that I super feel it's my place to say about myself. Right. I just got to do good work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just got to be out here doing good work and doing it, not like being my own PR team of like, oh, look, I'm doing things the right way. Like, do things the right way and then tell you that I'm doing them. So, but it means a lot to be seen in that regard. And I also think it's like motherfuckers spend a lot of time talking about shit that they don't like how it's being done. Yeah. But not always uplifting something that they do appreciate how it's being done, which is often more powerful. It's like turning it from, instead of just let's like hate on some shit that we don't feel is being done in a respectful way, let's uplift the examples where we do feel it's authentic. And so I just fuck with that approach, you know what I mean? But that shit meant a lot to me because, like you said, it could also have gone. That's where I'm so grateful for my tenure in the game and how long it's taken me in my career too, because my resume's there, the work is there. Because it could go the other way, where it's like, and that's what he was kind of saying in that video too. He was like, I heard the album is really musical, really special. I would hate if what's going on right now over here with this shit tainted people's ability to hear how dope Marlon's album is. Right. And I don't think it did, because I think people know me, you know what I'm saying? Like, people know, or they don't. They could go dig for a second and see the foundation of what's there. Yeah. I will say, I definitely feel like I had some interviews canceled around that time because of that Jack Harlow shit. Like, 100%.
That's crazy.
Because motherfuckers...
What did you, like, but there's no correlation between you and Jack. I get why people are saying that, but, like, it's just like, it's dumb.
But we're inextricably linked, though, and that's the only thing. That's why I appreciate, like, on the one hand, it's like, well, why does he have to talk about this to talk about you? And it's like, but everyone's doing that to me anyway behind closed doors, and everyone's using that as an example of why, or using that as something to take refuge behind why they don't want to fuck with me. Because I definitely had a few things like where I'm like, yeah, this got to somebody's boss that doesn't know the work I've put in and just looked at a picture and was like, yeah, we're not doing this, And look, I understand, like, I understand when I started this, and I understand it now, and it is the way it should be, that, like, I'm cool, man. Like, I just want to do great work and contribute something, to this game, to this culture. So I know it's like, yeah, like I got to put in extra work, and there's always going to be people that I'm constantly going to be making believers out of people. You know, I'm doing it in year 10 and I'm going to be doing it in year 15. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, like I want to focus more on the voices that are emerging now that are really with a sophisticated and an astute like framework and analysis, like being like, hey, shine some light on Marlon. Like, look how he's doing it, and these are the ways we appreciate it. So I'm choosing to really focus on that. But when it happens, like, make no mistake, I really appreciate it, you know, because I feel seen, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree. And shout out FD
Signifier.
Shout out FD Signifier. Great video. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah,
did a great job with that.
Now I got put onto him because like a year and a half ago. He did this whole video essay, it's like 2 hours long, about white rappers, and he starts it with like me as the case study, like where he's like, case study is funny. Like he I don't know if I wasn't the case study, but he like contextualized the video with me because my song came on, and he was like, "Who is this person?" And like, this is so dope, and then saw me and like whatever, and then he it's a really dope video, and I think people should watch it. But a lot of people got put on to me through that video and have come to me through him. And it also taught me a little bit more about media, because like hip hop media, you know, like we give so much power and perception, especially me, like I'm 10, 15 years. There's certain people, certain voices, certain platforms that you feel like are really important. But then there's these other voices that really control like these large fan bases of listeners. Like a lot of people listen to that guy and found me because of him, and he's doing things in a really intelligent, thoughtful way. So that inspires me too, to feel like, man, you don't got to chase these like 5 platforms that we thought we want to be. Like, I want to be on this list at the end of the year or something like that. Like, there are large communities of people that are like off of the center that are looking for stuff that's a little bit deeper, you know. So I'm continually just trying to find those people in those communities, you know.
That's real, man. That's real. My question, because I don't know if I ever got to ask you, like, because I know there's like a really cool story about Mom's Whiskey, right? What's the story behind it? I don't know if I ever got to ask you about that in an interview.
Man, I was at home just going through it, young in my 20s, you know what I'm saying, living at home with my parents. I came home one night, I didn't have no money to buy any sauce. I was trying to get in my feelings and write something. Yeah. And I just was like digging around the stash. And my mom used to like hide shit. Like she used to like hide her little bottles sometimes. That was just like her stash, you know? Yeah. Which makes her sound like way more of a drinker than she is, but it was just something that she did. And yeah, like I just found that shit, and I found that beat on YouTube. It was like SZA type beat. And then and it spoke to my soul, and I just started. I've been drinking all my mom's whiskey. That was it, really.
How'd you make the whiskey? Like, how'd you get like the mom's whiskey made?
Man, New York Distilling Co. We partnered with them. My man Dylan, who has always like just been a sounding board for me and like, you know, helped me with all my shit. He just was like, yo, he had the idea, and he was like, can I reach out to some distilleries and see if they'd want to do it? And they wanted to collab, and it was such a cool thing to do. It's just so expensive, like to make. You can't really make no money. Yeah, you can't really make no money, and then you're like asking people to pay so much. You have to pay. It's like you have to charge some exorbitant amount to make it worth it. But then for the money I'm asking my fans to pay, I'm not even making that much money. So it just was like tough to do. It was like to continue, but I think we might bring out like a batch or some shit like that soon. Like,
there's some left.
Yeah.
Well, one last bottle now.
Yeah.
How much are you charging for it?
They're like $150 a bottle. It was like the super exclusive limited run, whatever. And we sold it out like crazy when we put the first batch out. I think it was like 125 bottles or something.
Oh, nice! Wow.
But again, right? It's like I'm seeing so little bread. I don't want like my people that are trying to support me. They're trying to support me. Yeah. So it's like I don't want you to be spending that much money and then it's not even supporting you. You know what I mean? Like so. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, Knicks are up by 6, by the way, with 2 minutes left.
I was about to ask.
Yeah, I got you. Don't
for
worry.
The fucking update, but I didn't want to be disrespectful.
You know, before we start the interview, well, because when people see this, like either we're doing great when people see this, or we're not doing great. You know what I'm saying? History's shown we might not be doing great, but we're hopeful.
Nah, we here, man.
Now we here now, but right now they're playing the Sixers. It's game. What game?
Game 2.
This is game 2, yeah. And we're up 105-99. I got you. I was gonna have somebody like mid interview. My thought process was like, yo. somebody in the middle of the interview is gonna tell us that they won, and if nobody says anything, it means they lost. Like I should have did that. That would have been mad funny.
I was just sitting over here like, what's the update? What's the update? But I'm glad you told me. All right, we here.
But like that's a good transition because it was funny because yesterday was the Met Gala, right? And there was this whole thing online about Timothy Chalamet going to the Knicks game instead of going to the Met Gala, right?
Yeah.
But what I feel like a lot of people don't know is that there is like some type of a relationship with like you and Timothy. So like what is, because y'all grew up in the same building, like what's the history there? Because there have been multiple occasions where he's shouted you out for different tapes over the last like 4 or 5 years now too.
Yeah.
And he's kind of been like, I'll say probably like one of the like biggest people that like we've seen support you.
Yeah, I mean we grew up together. You know, we're from Manhattan Plaza. We're from the same building, the same block, in Hell's Kitchen. He was always like outside kicking his soccer ball around. We used to call him Soccer Timmy or French Timmy, because there was mad Timmys on the block. There's at least 3. But yeah, we always would see him. I would always see him around the block. We weren't like super tight growing up, but that's the homie, man. Like I'll run into him like just around the way when he's going to see his mom, or I'm on the block, and he would always just be like, "Yo, I'm riding around LA. I'm listening to your shit, bro. Like shit is fire, like whatever." So, or he would like run up on my pops and be like, "Yo, tell Marlon I'm listening to the shit." Like, you know. So he's always just showed a lot of love, man.
That's fire, bro.
And it's been awesome to watch him do what he's doing because, you know, he's from our block. You know, we all grew up together. We take a lot of pride in where we're from and the legacy of where we're from. And with him, it's been easy to root for because he's just an incredible actor. Yeah. So, like, his craft, I mean, he's just incredible at what he does. So, yeah, that's the homie, man.
Yeah, man. No, I love when they did the Nardwuar interview and he which tape was it? It was
Home Court
Volume 1. Yeah, it was Home Court, right? And like he showed up, I'm like, oh, that's fire, man. Like I'm happy, like, because I feel like with you, like your accolades or like when people like do come up and like co-sign you, it's always at very like random times, but like kind of like your music is at very meaningful times too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, that was special. I mean, look, especially like being independent like me, you know, it's like he has I mean, he's just like a big guy. I mean, he's Timmy, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's bugged out for me because it's just like I just know him from the block, and then he'd be on like the cover of GQ and shit, and it's like I'm just like, it's fucking Timmy from the block.
Soccer Timmy.
Yeah, it's Tim, you know what I'm saying? So, but really happy for him, man, and like definitely jealous of all his courtside situations at the Knicks games, man. But he's a real fan. He always was a fan, for sure.
Yeah. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, it was so funny because like on Twitter yesterday, they're like, oh, he skipped, you know, the Met Gala to go to the Knicks playoffs for the second year in a row. And like the quote tweet was like, never been more of a fan. Like this is like this little tweet made me more of a fan of him. You know what I'm saying? I think that's cool that like for like New York, like that's real, man. Because like the Met Gala is amazing, but it's like if you really from New York, you gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. I don't think because that's the thing. Like, you know, he's just a New York kid. Like I didn't even think for 1 minute. I saw that it was kind of a viral thing. Like, where's he gonna go? I mean, like I'm like he's gonna go to.
He's gonna go next game.
Yeah, I mean, because it's, you know, you grow up. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of shit that comes with, you know, being as famous as he is that's, like, really difficult. So, but you also gotta, you know, if you have the access like that, that's incredible, man, because we all just grew up fans of the Knicks, and to be able to be a part of it in that way, you know, it's, like, it's really special, so. Yeah.
Shit, man. I mean, whenever the Knicks don't make the playoffs, he could go. He'll be all right. He'll be all right. Yeah. But, so also, it was funny because I was watching. I actually really fuck with the guy's content, the 60-second interview guy, because I've seen a couple of his interviews that I've actually used, like, you know, as like sidebar. Yeah. I think he did one with my boy Fetty P. Franklin, and like he asked him about like his biggest mistake, and it was like buying a SRT Hellcat. I'm like, expand on that idea, and he told me this whole crazy story. But it was funny because like your interview with him, you kind of like crashed out a little bit. Because you were like, you like tell these industry motherfuckers they got me fucked up. Like I won't punch him in the face. Right? Was that what I was when I see him?
Well, he asked me. He was like, "What's one thing? What's the biggest misconception?" He was like, "Rapid fire. What's the biggest misconception about Marlon Craft?" And I was just having a day, man. I was just a little cranky, and I just been going through some bullshit with some stuff. And I was just saying that, like, I think what I was trying to say is, like, bro, I'm like a real person. Like, I'm like a real guy. Yeah. And I think people be having me a little fucked up in music. It's like, I was never tough. You know what I'm saying? I was never a tough guy. And I know that because I knew real tough guys. Yeah. And, like, you know, but I was never a punk. And, like, especially now, I'm 33 years old, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I think, I don't know, like, I'm 33 years old, I'm 10 years into this industry. I think, you know, just sometimes the way I get treated behind the scenes in certain situations, I'm just like, you can think whatever you want about me because the way I look or whatever it is, but, like, I don't know, like, you can't disrespect me as a man. Like, I wouldn't tolerate this just in any other, like, so, I don't know, that's kind of all I was saying. I was in that bag that day. I'm not trying to pop no shit on nobody. I'm not going to knock nobody like that. You know, everybody knows I'm a nice guy, man. I try to just move with a lot of respect and integrity. But sometimes, you know, motherfuckers, that was all I was saying. Like, he said misconception. And I was like, I really do think they have me fucked up because sometimes I'd be looking at shit. It's like, what about me makes you think that you can, like, treat me this way? Like, you know, you wouldn't talk like this to so-and-so, or you wouldn't, like, be like this to so-and-so. And, like, I never was a punk. So I don't be understanding that shit. But, you know, like, that was, let's just be clear. It's peace and it's love, and that's what I'm on, man.
Stop playing with him, too. Stop playing with him.
Nah, it's peace and it's love.
Peace and it's love.
And that's what I'm on.
Nah, I feel you. Should we talk about sneakers?
Yeah. Wait, let's do a quick Knicks check, though.
105 to 100. Yeah.
105, 100, how much time?
Yeah, minute 17. Don't worry, I got you. I
got
got the questions and I got
Let's go. Come
right
on,
next to it. Sneakers, man. So what are we wearing today?
These are just the 6s, the chrome. These are my rain shoes.
Okay.
The chrome 6s. It was raining. I just really like these. I love 6s. They're mad comfy. And these ones, like, even when they're cooked, you know, they're black, so they kind of just whatever. So these
I got black hat 6s. They're the same thing for me.
Yeah. These are my rainy day shoes, so yeah.
How do you feel about, like, this? Like, were you ever really into sneakers like that? Yeah, right? Or no?
I was, like, but I never could really afford to be into it like that. So when I first got some little rapper money, like, I kind of went a little ham, like, on Jordans and shit. Yeah. So I have a bunch of Jordans. But I never was, like, ahead, like, buying and selling. I have friends that were, like, you know, into the SBs and all that shit, and doing meetups in Times Square in front of the champs. You know what I mean? Like, meet me in front of the champs. You know what I'm saying? We do this meetup. You know what I'm saying? You got to bring one friend with you so you don't get robbed, you know? Yeah. But I never really cared that much.
I'm about to say, like, yeah. So you don't have any opinions on, like, the sneaker culture now or, like, sneaker game now?
Nah, I wouldn't know enough about the culture. I just like what I like. My sneaker game is, like, heavily uptown influenced because I spent a lot of time in Harlem and Bronx as a kid, and that's, like, a lot of the style came from. So just, like, Jordans from that era, you know what I mean?
107.
What's that? 107,
100.
Let's go.
But yeah, no, I feel like now, like, with the sneaker game, like, now, like, I don't know, I just be comfortable. You saw that they said online that there was this whole post online that they said forces or uptowns are like Gen Z's calling them unk shoes. Yo, you call them unk shoes, Cam? All right, cool. Just making sure.
They're the ones that ruin them. They're the ones that ruin them. They can't unkify them when they're the ones. There's all the Gen Z white girl transplants that was wearing them shits. Like, they were like having a cook competition to see who could cook them. I've seen that shit.
Yes, they were having a
like, bro. Like, how cooked can we make? I've said this before. I feel like the uptown is actually like the perfect embodiment and metaphor for gentrification because they took a thing that they didn't understand. They're like, this is the cool shoe. And then without regard for the actual way that it was put into practice culturally here, which is that we keep them fresh. You know what I'm saying? We don't choke them. They keep them fresh. Try to keep them on crease, all that. They just did what they wanted to do and, like, completely co-opted it and made it so then that now it was uncool and we don't even want to wear them. And so that type of, like, oh, we're going to, like, take your culture, but then just do whatever we feel like doing with it without regard for how it affects the culture at large. Like, all of gentrification culturally is embodied in a cooked uptown.
And this is why, if I was an asshole, right, just cut that small. No, that clip is going to have the whole.
You clip that. That's a good clip.
No, that's a great, I
don't give a fuck. I stand on that.
I go on that, bro. That's the headline. You said what? It could be. You say gentrification can be.
What did I say?
Embodied by a cooked uptown.
I said, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, all of gentrification, especially culturally speaking, can be embodied in a cooked uptown. A cooked uptown is like the perfect physical symbol, metaphor, embodiment of gentrification.
Nah, that's bro. I remember when they were doing that online. They're like, everybody show your cooked forces. I'm like, what?
Bro, come on, man. We don't do that, man. The other thing is when I made the Unapologetic record, where it's like, this shit feel like Tim's in the summertime, Unapologetic. I'm thinking about Jadakiss and DMX and that energy, and that's what I meant. You know what I mean? And then I made it in 2021, and then I was finishing the album last couple summers, and all the young Gen Z kids are wearing like jean shorts with like cooked Tim's.
Yeah.
Like that's their look in the summer. And I'm like, damn, bro, like it's got a different meaning now. Like they kind of, but you know, look, things change and like it's all love and it's cool. But nah, y'all gotta leave the Uptowns alone, man.
I got cooked Tim's in the summertime being back. I don't have a problem with that.
Actually, do you remember I used to put on my stories every time I would see cooked Uptowns out in the wild?
Bro,
I would like zoom in on them and I would put like really dramatic, operatic like music, and I would write a little like obituary for the Uptowns, like, you know, like lay these to rest, like, you know, all this shit, like, cause yo, it would be something like when the shits would be so cooked that you can't even see the check. You gotta look to see if it really even is.
It's still
ups.
Uptown, yeah.
Like it, yeah, bro.
Bro, I haven't bought like, cause I would buy in bulk. I buy like 6 pairs at a time. I haven't done that in a while. I remember when I forgot who said. I think they said that Dirk would like buy ups, but like he would only wear it one time then throw them out.
Yeah, I believe it, bro.
I'm like, that's crazy.
That's like the Cribs, the legendary back when MTV Cribs was a thing, and Dame Dash had the white tees. Remember, he would wear it once and throw it out.
Yeah, same thing, same concept.
Which is kind of wild because I feel like most of them white tees, like they got a little weird smell to them the first time, and they're kind of wrinkled. Like you kind of got to iron it. Like I don't even know if that sounds like more like it would be more difficult.
Fashion Diva, do you agree? Yeah, for the white tees. No, okay. He doesn't agree.
One time and throw them out. Oh
Oh,
yeah,
if they Hanes,
if it's a Hanes
situation. Wear it one time and throw it out, but like, nah, that's.
I don't know.
We've gone. So we've gone.
Yeah,
so
we're off the Knicks. What's the score of the Knicks game?
108. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
22 seconds left. I don't know. It doesn't say. Yeah, it doesn't say.
Come on, man.
They gotta fix that on Google, bro. They gotta like put like they gotta get like a little ball to go on top, like when they do in baseball. They have it. Yeah, they have a football, right? They got the little ball in it. Man, look. So what's next for you, Maji? We got more. Residency July, another one in July.
Yeah, July and August, we're going to announce the residency dates in New York soon. We're going to do some spot dates, you know, with the band, start taking it on the road.
Yeah.
We're going to keep being out here talking about The Internet Killed the Neighborhood, the album. We're going to bring some live experiences like the On The Radar one.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing some freestyles, everything just very intentional. And we got the Patreon should be rocking by the time that this is out. You know, like I've had my subscription service called The Center.
They won.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, they won. Let's
fucking go. Yeah, I've had a subscription service called The Center where people can subscribe to me directly, you know, and support me. And I really just want to be tapped in with my community of people.
Yeah.
I want to be able to rely on my people to do the work that I want to do. So I think we're going to be, you know, moving The Center over to Patreon and be starting there. Sick. And I hope people will consider fucking with me there, man, because I really just don't want to be subject to funding from any type of corporation and nothing. I'm trying to achieve like some peace in my life. You know, I've worked really hard to create a career, people that care about what I do. I'm developing as an artist and as a musician. I'm making the music that I want to make. I'm living, you know, I got a beautiful partner, you know, of 7 years. Like, I'm trying to be happy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But running my own shit and like, you know, the anxiety of like not knowing, you know, having that stability and that framework for actual stability is just like havoc on my nervous system. And so, you know, by people supporting me directly and becoming part of these communities I'm trying to build, whether it's Patreon or the Center, whatever, you know, they could really could change my life and make it so that I could have a more stable framework to be able to create these bodies of work. So I hope people will fuck with me in that regard.
I love that, man. Yeah. That's a great place to end it. I'm going to try something new with you once we wrap this interview. But man, look, I appreciate you as always, man. The Internet Killed the Neighborhood, out now. On the Radar experience with Marlon, out now. On the Radar Cypher, new rap class Cypher, out now, and his first freestyle and his old interview is all up, so you could check that out. Patreon, yep. What's the link for the Patreon?
Dude, we literally making it right now.
Okay.
It's gonna be patreon.com/Marlon Craft. And
simple,
if it ain't, you know, just Google me, you know, like we'll find it. But we still have the center.marloncraft.com, where the center is that we're going to be funneling, you know, to Patreon as well. Yeah. So yeah, we out here.
My G. Well, I appreciate you as always for coming through. Get your vinyls. Check out that video out now. People can follow you at Marlon Craft on everything.
Marlon Craft on everything. Gabe P, my brother, I really appreciate you, man, for real.
My G. Love your soul. Thank you again, as always. Go check out the new project. Go show my brother some love. Go watch that experience. Love is free. Sports free. Y'all already knew that. Gabe P, The Frequency at OTR. We out. Bow.